Hey guys, this is Tim with Invisible Pain. So, question is, how do you know when the nation is speaking to you? Well, the past few days has been kind of crazy because we've had President Trump try to get assassinated, and then the far left liberal media comes out and blames it on him, when in fact they're the ones that's caused the division. But that's not what I want to talk about. How do we know when the nation is binding together as one, and when they're tired of the lies? They're tired of the media that spews this hate, this division, this racism against black and white. And then they want to try to say that they're doing it in the name of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is pushing racism so much, and they're using these talk show hosts and these news agencies to push the division. And some people don't know um, what to do. Some people don't have the mental capacity to understand when to call something a damn lie. And just because someone, let's say for the instance of Whoopi, when they get on the View and spout all this racism and all this shit, that some people will actually do and make up in their mind what that means, but say we need to put a bullseye on Donald Trump. Well, that's exactly what happened. Somebody acted on their hate and almost took someone's life because of their mindset, that they're so deranged when it comes to Donald Trump. But let me give you some light on what the nation is saying. So the View has had their time to go out and spout all these lies and all this hateful stuff, and me for one says, well, why I don't understand. If people's not getting the views, or people's not watching, how do they can afford to keep airing junk? Well, their little ride is over. Their news station, or their I guess it's ABC or whoever it is that carries them. I'll have to go back and read it, but they have decided not to renew the View, so they're out of a job. Maybe they can go over to CNN or somebody else that is drowning in their terrible reviews, or and see if somebody else is going to pick them up. But we as a nation are tired of the lies and the hate and the all of this mess that tries to come against the white, black, or brown man. And I have plenty of friends that are black and brown. And as far as I'm concerned, and I'm from the South, white and black and brown mix. We're all friends. Just because the government, some forms of the government, doesn't want us to, because they have an agenda. And people get so tore up about all this shit that they try to push. And they try to get in our heads to try to think what they're, just because what they're saying is true, when in fact there's never been a more time when they're absolutely trying to destroy a nation. They've tried this in different countries, and their countries has failed. And we will not sit by and allow a liberal dictator to take over our country and wash out what we've been taught and raised when it comes to the Bible, when it comes to our fellow man, the mere respect that you should have for one another. And up until the time is now, our nation has never seen anything like what's going on now. And you've got some of these um, people in um, the movie industry that wants to stand up for all of this junk. When we was growing up, there's always has been or always will be homosexuals, lesbians, whatever you want to call them, idiots, men that's wearing women's clothes, And they done that in the privacy of their home. And every now and again, you would go out and you would see somebody that would come out, a man dressed up as a woman, and people looked at them like they're freaks. Never going to change. No matter how much you try to push it, it's never going to change. But the difference is what they done at their home was their privacy, and their whatever they done is none of my business. But when you try to push that out in the community and try to make children believe that living that lifestyle is okay, in which it is not, and try to say that Christians are the problem with this world. No, when the devil tries to come over and take hold of a nation, the only way that he can win is he knows he can't get this generation. So the first thing that they're going to try to do is start attacking the next generation coming up, our children, and try to put in their minds that all of this junk that they're trying to do is okay. We're not going to stand for it. And today is a day that I think we're going to move closer to that. When a talk show has come on for years and they have tried to come against anyone, especially Republicans, they've tried to come against all of us and call us racist, white supremacists, um, just all these bad images they try to put in people's head. And we're all people. Joe Biden doesn't even know your name. And why you would want to go out in the name of Joe Biden and take literally what he said about putting a bullseye on Donald Trump is absolutely it amazes me how Biden has reached out in what I call the dumb vote. Biden's got the dumb vote. And I don't know that people will ever wake up and understand that where they're at in their life. If you're living and waiting on Biden to hand you out free food and free living and all of this mess, and you're not getting off your ass and going to work, then what are you going to do when something very, very, very bad happens? That the government cuts off all of this free spending, cuts off all this assistance, and there you and your children is sitting at home and you can't provide for yourself because the government's not going to bring you a basket of chicken to your front door just because your children are just crying and are hungry. The food stamp cards are going to stop. And I am a believer that if you've worked in this nation and you have tried your best and rough times has come upon you and your household and you need help, absolutely I believe that everybody should have the opportunity to be able to fall back on something and say, look, I need some help. But the help isn't meant to be for a lifetime. When you get help on food stamps or any kind of government assistance, it's not meant to um, stay in the process, keep going as long every year of your life up until the day that you die. That's not what it's intended for. It's intended to get people out of a rut, help them get them back on their feet, and get them back to work. And that's why our Lord above, why He gave all of us sweat. That's where sweat comes from. It purifies, it cleans your body, and we get up and we get to go forth and work hard and work by the sweat of our brow. He's not meant for you to lay at home and play video games and watch news all day and then say that you're contributing to our society because you're not. But today is a day that we can push forward to try to make our nation better and greater again. Now that The View is losing and not going to be on air anymore, and we don't have to hear their spew their lies. But there's one more step that we have to do to really let the nation know that we're sick and tired of hearing this shit. There's one more thing. You've got to get up. I don't care if it's raining, sleeting, snowing, tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever's come through, flooding, whatever. If it's flooding, get on your boat. Get in your car, crank it up. If you ain't got a car, call a buddy, call a cab, call a Uber, whoever you got to call. and go vote. You've got to vote for Donald J. Trump. Get out of this mindset of the Democrats pushing these lies, because I'm telling you, they're scared of losing their power. They're scared of losing their money. They're scared of people like Nancy Pelosi being able to make millions and millions of dollars on stocks and trading, while she's supposed to be up there and making her constituents live their lives at a better place. She's supposed to be standing up for them. And the only one that's getting better is her and her family. So until we stop it, it's going to keep happening. This nation for right now, our nation right now needs Donald J. Trump to get our nation back in order again, get it back on the road where God calls it to be. And we all know that one day our Lord and Savior is coming back. But we've got to start treating man, husband, wives, your friends, your cousins, just because that you've got a different belief than I do. I'm still human. And words do hurt. Treat people with respect today. Don't let somebody else that doesn't live the same way that you live. You think some of these politicians could live the way that you have to live every day? You think some of these politicians would live in your home? You think some of these politicians would sit around and eat some of the food that you have to eat because that's the only thing that you can do to survive? You've got to come to the point that some of these politicians don't give a damn. Some of these laws that they're put in effect, it don't make a damn. Because at the end of their term, look and see if you're any better off than it was when the day they started. And I guarantee you, you're going to say no. And if you say no to that, vote their ass out and put someone else in there and give them a shot. You can't deny what Trump did in his first term. You can't deny it. Our nation was so much better off. People respected us. We weren't about to go into World War III with different countries. And fellow man, the only ones that started the division, the day the man come down the escalator and was voted as president in 2016, the day he come down, they started their mess. But isn't it funny that before he decided to run for president and or change to a Republican, that they were all calling him and wanting his money, wanting him to sponsor them for their reelection bids. And then when he decided to run for president, they threw him to the wolves. But this man don't quit. This man stands up in what he believes for and believes in. It's time for us as a nation to get behind him and make America great again. Like, share, comment, and follow me. I got a whole lot more to say. Tim Tilley, Invisible Pain.